Hello and thanks for joining us. This is the What Now. We begin in the Middle East, where we are staying with interventions to end the war between Israel and Hamas. The United States has rejected a United Nations Security Council resolution calling for an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire in Gaza. The U.S. insists it cannot support an unconditional ceasefire that fails to release the hostages. Deputy U.S. Ambassador Robert Wood mentioned that 7 American citizens are still held hostage in Gaza, and they will not be forgotten. The UN resolution by 10 non-permanent members demanded an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire to be respected by all parties. It also stressed the need for immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. Only the U.S. voted against the resolution, using the position as one of the 5 permanent members of the Council. For more on this development, Global Affairs analyst Amuda Musibudi joins me on the World Now. Good to have you join us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is the 4th time the U.S. will be using its veto power during this conflict. The U.S. says the New Deal calls for an unconditional ceasefire, but doesn't take into cognizance the release of hostages, basically just the wording. So what do you make of this?
I think the contention first, we must understand that in foreign policy, the most important thing is national interest. And what the
coming from your end. All right, Mahmouda seems to be having network challenge. We'll just try and reconnect and continue that conversation. But let's turn to another war. The U.S. official has disputed Kyiv's claim that Russia launched an intercontinental ballistic missile at Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky had earlier claimed Ukraine was attacked with a new Russian rocket and suggests it has the characteristics of an ICBM. We have more in this report.
Ukraine's military has accused Russia of launching an intercontinental missile in a Thursday morning attack. On the city of Dnipro. The Air Force did not say what kind of ICBM was deployed. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov had nothing to say about the Ukrainian military's accusation that Russia fired an intercontinental ballistic missile at Ukraine for the first time this morning. In a call with reporters, Mr. Peskov declined to comment. The attack will be Moscow's first use of the powerful long-range weapon in a war that has lasted more than 1,000 days. It comes in a week when both Russia and Ukraine and its Western allies major policy shifts. On Sunday, U.S. President Joe Biden gave Ukraine permission to fire long-range American missiles known as ATACMs at targets deep inside Russia. In the meantime, Ukraine on its part has reportedly launched British-French-made Storm Shadow missiles at targets inside Russia for the first time, a day after its first firing of U.S.-made longer-range missiles into Russian territory. In other news, the U.S. Embassy in Kiev will reopen today after disinformation prompted some Western embassies in Ukraine's capital to close temporarily. Ukraine said Russia staged an information and psychological attack by spreading a fake warning of an air attack on the city. The U.S. will now send Ukraine more weapons as part of a $275 million funding package. The country will also send anti-personnel mines to Ukraine for the first time, a major policy shift on the controversial weapons.